What's poppin'? Welcome back to FNS Network. This is Matt, aka Mr. Midwest. Gotta react to the situation that happened between Kenyon and Nick Young on the latest episode of Gil's Arena. I will hit you with the link in the description box. My bad if you hear the truck, man. Listen, it's hot out here, so I gotta have the AC on. All right, so I just want to give y'all a quick reaction to that situation. Kenyon was talking about Greg Popovich, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, pretty much giving Greg Popovich his flowers. And I guess he felt disrespected by Nick Young doing something with his phone or kind of talking a little bit while he was, breaking Greg Popovich down and things like that, right? So this is my thing with the situation. It got disrespectful. It got very disrespectful, honestly, and I'm going to say on Kenyon's end, I love Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin is probably my favorite power forward. I roll with Kenyon Martin over most power forwards, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, I roll with him, you know what I mean? That's my guy. And the thing is, I'm a Pistons dude, so when we had our rivalry with the Nets, I wasn't feeling Kenyon Martin, you know what I'm saying? But I recognize he's cold, and he was cold, man, you know what I mean? It got disrespectful. Everybody grown men at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Now, I feel like this. The interaction between them two, it seemed like they had, if you watch the show, they kind of go back and forth anyway. But you can kind of tell the tone that I'm not saying they don't like each other. It's like an irritant kind of thing, you know what I mean, between them two. You know what I'm saying? It seems as if, and I'm saying what I see, it seems as if Kenyon Martin, I guess you want to say the bully, you know what I'm saying? I guess you want to say in that situation. And Nick Young, he reacted like he's tired of being picked on. You know what I mean? That's the view I got of that, right? When we all grown, I don't condone no shut the F up. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Now, due to the fact that you gotta understand, we in a professional setting. There's no need for that. Now, if you was frustrated with Nick Young, I'm on some, okay, when the cameras turn off, we gonna discuss this like any other co-worker. Any issue you have with your co-workers and things like that, you have a meeting and things like that. Let's be honest, we in a professional setting. I know a lot of times people are like, oh, that's some real stuff. Listen, we getting paid, we in a professional setting, we got sponsors, no need for that. You know what I'm saying? No need for that. If there's issues, that's where you have meetings and y'all hash things out in the meeting. You know what I mean? There's no need for the disrespectful talk on the airwaves, because now it would look like you're trying to punk me and things like that. And I was listening to Kwame Brown this morning talk about it. So salute to Kwame Brown, right? I don't want to, take his wisdom, but I forgot that Nick Young was from LA. I forgot. And I didn't know Gil's Arena was set up in LA. All right. So if anybody know, you know what I mean? Especially in the urban community, if someone made it out of a certain place like the hood or whatever, if someone made it out of the hood, urban area, whatever, he got people that rock with him. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's anywhere though. You know what I'm saying? Not just LA, anywhere. He got people that rock with him. So you can't be in that person's hometown talking greasy and acting like you about to get physical, because it's not going to be free. And that's just the reality of the situation. It's not of course you want things to be one-on-one, but in reality, things is never one-on-one. It's never one-on-one at all, unless you're in a boxing ring or in an octagon. If nothing is one-on-one, you know what I mean? So I just think that, I do feel like on some professional stuff, they probably need to come together on some, I apologize for saying this, and Nick Young should apologize for feeling like, I just feel like both parties should apologize to each other to keep the peace, and because you don't want to lose sponsors. You don't want any of that going on, because you want, at the end of the day, the higher you climb, the more professional you got to be. Let's just be real. Now, unless you don't care about that type of stuff, that's a different situation. But if you want to keep sponsors and things like that, you don't want that type of imagery out there. You don't want that clip to be, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, the negativity is going to shine over the positivity anyway. So a clip like that is going to go viral, and then, it's going to bring more eyes to Gil's Arena. Gil's Arena already got a whole lot of eyes, but it's going to bring more eyes to people that wasn't watching the show, and then they going to think that that's what this is based off of. You don't want that to be the case, because I think Gil's Arena is a very dope podcast, very dope show in my opinion. I love that. Listen, it's fire, you know what I mean? But that situation isn't a good look. It seemed like something that had got boiled over. You know what I mean? That them two kind of get irritated with one another. And I'm not going to say they don't like each other. I just think that maybe they get irritated with one another. You know what I'm saying? And then it just blew over right there. You know what I mean? Everybody human. It is what it is. You know, I just don't think that should have been addressed that way because, you know, like I said, as grown men, all that shut the F up talk. No, we ain't doing that. We grown. I don't care how tough you is. You not about to do, we both got kids, you know what I'm saying? All that, we grown men, you know what I'm saying? You're not about to tell me to shut the F up on camera, you know what I mean? So if they did get into a situation behind the scenes, I get it. Especially being told shut the F up like that, you know what I mean? And disrespecting me on camera, like that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't hear Nick Young talking, so obviously he's seen it. I don't think it picked up in the mic. If it did, I didn't hear it. So that could have been addressed behind the scenes. It could have, you know what I mean? But, you know, if Kenyon Martin felt disrespect, they just need to talk that out, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously he felt some type of way, you know what I mean? And Nick Young, you know, he gonna defend himself as he should defend himself. But I do think they need to have like a little situation before a show. One of these shows coming out, like, listen, I apologize for, you know, disrespecting you, and I apologize for you feeling like that I was disrespecting what you was doing, and then they piece it up, man. Straight up, you know what I mean? So nobody punking nobody here, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, listen, if I'm in the middle of that situation, we shutting that down, and we gonna hash that out immediately when the cameras go off. I don't care how mad people. We gonna talk about this because, you know, both of them is great additions to the show. Nick Young, I love Nick Young's personality. I love Kmart's personality, even Rashad McCants, you know, Brandon Jen. I love the whole show. Everybody got their own personalities, man. They all mesh well together, in my opinion. So I just feel like they need to hash that out ASAP. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. So make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Really appreciate it from everybody. Peace.